Long before Europe's crowns glittered or empires spread across the seas, there was talk of a queen whose wealth, beauty, and brilliance could humble even the proudest of men. Her name, whispered differently across the ages, was Makeda to the Ethiopians, Bilqis in the Islamic world, and simply the Queen of the South in the Bible. Her kingdom of Sheba was no myth. It thrived where frankincense and gold flowed, across the deserts of Yemen and the highlands of Ethiopia. Camels carried spices, jewels, and silk through her markets, and her people worshipped the sun that warmed their land. Yet even in her glory, tales reached her ears of another sovereign. King Solomon of Israel, a man said to be so wise that even the birds spoke his secrets. Makeda was not one to be dazzled by rumor. She was a ruler in her own right, clever enough to balance armies and merchants, patient enough to weigh counsel, and bold enough to test kings. And so, she gathered a caravan that shook the desert sands, camels groaning under 4 tons of gold, mountains of incense, and gems that caught fire in the sunlight. She set out not to kneel but to challenge. When she arrived in Jerusalem, she confronted Solomon with riddles, puzzles meant to ensnare the clever and unmask pretenders. Yet Solomon met her question for question, riddle for riddle. The queen, who had left her homeland certain of her superiority, found herself breathless, not by his wealth but by his wit. And Solomon, who had received countless gifts in his reign, declared that never had such spices or treasures been seen in Israel. The two parted with respect, each recognizing in the other not weakness but an equal mind. The Bible leaves her there a fleeting visitor, but the Ethiopians tell a richer tale, that Solomon's charm, mixed with cunning, won her heart and led to the birth of a son, Menelik I, founder of Ethiopia's Solomonic dynasty, a line that would stretch unbroken to Emperor Haile Selassie in the 20th century. And in their telling, it was Menelik who carried the Ark of the Covenant from Jerusalem to Ethiopia, where some say it rests to this day. The Quran too preserves her wisdom. There she is no seduced queen, but a woman who, upon meeting Solomon, recognizes truth and turns from worship of the sun to the worship of the one God. In that account, she is not conquered, she chooses. So who was the Queen of Sheba? A flesh and blood monarch who crossed deserts to test another? Or a tapestry of legend woven to glorify kings and empires? History leaves us with no bones, no inscriptions naming her. But the power of her story is that it outlived kings. She became a mirror of what people most admire: intelligence, diplomacy, and the strength to meet men as equals. Her legacy? That wisdom is not bound by gender, that trade and ideas travel further than armies, and that a single queen, whether myth or memory, can stand in the imagination of 3 great faiths.